Welcome back, Rich Mind. It's your boy Reno coming back to you with another video. And today's topic is gonna be 5 ways to become a God-made millionaire. Yes, sir. Let me say it louder for the people in the back. 5 ways to become a God-made millionaire. So I know what you're asking, I know what you want to know, but before I get deep into this video and before I explain, if any one of these signs resonate with you, and if you plan on being a God-made millionaire, yes sir, in the name of righteousness, I need you to give me a thumbs up on this video and make sure that you subscribe to me if any of those resonate with you. So check this out, y'all. Look, in order to be a God-made millionaire, you got to understand, number one, you got to be a God-fearing man. You got to be a God-fearing woman. You have to be somebody who believes in the higher power. Yes sir, comment amen if you understand what I'm saying, right? Comment amen if you understand what I'm saying. See, you can't be this person who's saying, man, I want to be a God-made millionaire, and you don't even believe in God. That's the first step. You got to believe in God before you try to seek to be a God-made millionaire. You got to believe in the man who made you. You got to believe in being made in his image. You got to believe in the vision. You got to believe in God. You got to believe. In order to go ahead and get with these steps in being a God-made millionaire. That's first and foremost. And I haven't even gotten the first way yet, but I just had to make that clear for some people, right? And so one of the things I want to say is, on your journey to becoming a God-made millionaire, you're going to reach and you're going to see some people, and you may meet some people who say, how you can be a millionaire, but you must don't believe in God. It's going to be some people who try to make you feel like money is evil. Yes, sir. It's going to be some people who try to make you feel like just because you want more out of life, you doing too much, and you closer to Satan. You closer to the devil just because you want more money. So it's a difference in between just being overly ambitious and just wanting more. For example, you may catch a person on like, I live in Atlanta, Georgia, y'all. So it's people, if you ride on 285, I don't care where you're going to see a homeless person riding on 285, and some of those people be on the interstate, right? But you may see a person on the interstate, a homeless person, or if you just in the city, okay, cool, they're homeless. Look, they are successful if that's what they wanted. Do you know of some people who don't want to be a citizen? And people who just like, man, look, I'm cool on the bills, I'll just be homeless, right? So if you catch a person like that, guess what? He was successful. If that's what they wanted, he's successful. But guess what? It's nothing wrong with the man who say, you know what? Nah, I don't want to be homeless. No, sir, I'm cool on that. I want to drive my Benz. I want to drive my Beamer. I want to get a G-Wagon. I got dreams. I got goals. I have aspirations. Yes, sir. Somebody comment aspirations if you want to go somewhere in life. Somebody comment aspirations if you got a vision in life. Comment aspirations, okay? And so I want to say this before I get deep into the video. The guy who have these aspirations, the guy who have these goals, he's not wrong. So I had to start off this video, but before I got into it, by saying, if you want to be a God-made millionaire, that's okay. If you're a person who want more out of life, that is okay. Don't allow nobody to make you feel like you're doing something wrong, evil. You ain't gonna go to heaven and you ain't gonna get this. Can't nobody determine where you're going. We all human, and last time I checked, there is no one perfect. So the first way of becoming a God-made millionaire is to become fruitful. Yes, sir. To become fruitful. So, Reno, what do you mean by become fruitful? What you mean by that? So, let me tell you. So, if you look at McDonald's, that was fruitful. You look at Burger King, that was fruitful. You look at my books. One of my books that I published, one of my 4 books, Rich Mentality, I was fruitful. So what is fruitful? A lot of people may read the Bible. A lot of people may read the scripture. And this is actually in Genesis. I'm going to start getting these Bible scriptures too, so I can quote them exactly. But this is in Genesis. And one of the first laws of success that God gave man was to be fruitful. Okay, and so a lot of people may say, oh, he was talking about having babies. Listen, if he was talking about having babies, the world, it would be a big failure. It would be a big failure. So what people don't realize is, in the Bible, it speaks in parables. It's a big Bible of metaphors that you can apply to anything, right? You can apply it to business. You can apply it to relationships. You can apply it to marriages. You can apply it to whatever you're doing in life. You can apply it. But he says, be fruitful. So that means to produce a product. So yes, if you are having a kid, you're not necessarily being fruitful, but you're being seedful. Because fruit comes from seed. Fruit come from seed. You being seedful. You're planting something. Yeah, you have a kid, but he says not only to do that, but he says produce something, produce a product, produce a service, produce something that's gonna create you some revenue in perpetuity. Now, we didn't say that exactly in the Bible, but that's what it equates to when you start talking in real life and when you start looking at reality. You got to be fruitful. What product is inside you that you haven't created yet? Yes, sir. What service is inside you that you haven't made available? What is inside you that you can produce? You got to be fruitful. I need y'all to understand something. Comment below, y'all. Make sure y'all put be fruitful if you're about to produce that product. Comment be fruitful if you're about to produce that gift. Comment be fruitful. Comment be fruitful. I need y'all to realize how important that is on your journey of being a God-made millionaire. Right? So number 2, that's a big one. You got to be fruitful. Think about it. Think about McDonald's. Think about Wendy's. Think about any big company. Think about Apple. They was fruitful. They produced a product. They produced a product. All right? So number 2, y'all, it's going to be multiply. So what do you mean by multiply, Reno? Let me explain this. So when you say when I say multiply, right, which was quoted in Genesis as well, says be fruitful, then multiply. What does multiply mean? It only means to multiply that product at the same quality. Multiply that product at the same quality. Okay, so if you go to Japan, you're gonna see a Big Mac. All right. If you go to China, you're going to see the Big Mac. Okay. If you go to, I don't care if you go to Alabama, Atlanta, New York, wherever you're going, it's going to be the same Big Mac produced at the same quality. So what does that mean, Reno? Multiply, 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 multiply. All right. You just started that nail polish business. Okay. So you finally got that one little product. You got that one product and it costs $5. Multiply that. So let's say you got 10 of them. It costs $5, right? That's $50 right there. That's your inventory. That's your inventories. Understand what I'm saying, y'all? Listen, when you start multiplying your product, now you putting yourself in position to be successful. But see, it don't stop right there. Although you have produced this product, you done multiplied it, and now you got it going at the same quality, not only just quantity, but quality, all right? So now after that, what you got to do? You have to replenish it. See, multiplying the product alone and inventory alone will not make you a God-made millionaire. Yes, sir. I need y'all to understand something. That will not make you a God-made millionaire. So when you multiply that product, yes, you want to multiply it. I'm talking about do as many as possible. But you have to, number 3, replenish the product. Number 3, you got to replenish the product. So meaning you got to distribute that product. You got to distribute it. Right? So yeah, I understand. Man, Reno, you said multiply the product. Okay, of course. Now you got your adult product, you got your great product, you multiplying it. But if you just multiply it, meaning if you just get a whole bunch of those nail polish bottles, meaning if you just get a whole bunch of books, meaning if you get a whole bunch of burgers, meaning if you get a whole bunch of t-shirts and don't sell it to nobody, how can you expect to be successful and become a God-made millionaire? Yes, sir. Y'all understand. Somebody put in the comments, make sense. If it makes sense of what I'm saying. Somebody place in the comments, make sense if it makes sense of what I'm saying, right? So you got to understand, if you're going to replenish that product, that means that you're distributing it. So now you're going to the barbershops, right? You going to the nail salons, right? You going to the stores. You on the corner. You on the corner. A lot of y'all don't know my story. Shout out to Pinky Cole. I got my books. I had like 500 books. That's why I made my first $10,000. I had 500 books, and I stood outside of Slutty Vegan. I stood outside of Slutty Vegan and sold my books almost every day. I sold my books almost every single day. I had Rich Mentality and I had Fairly Unequal. I had 250 of Rich Mentality and 250 of Fairly Unequal. When Rich Mentality went out, I went straight into Fairly Unequal and I sold all of them. And that's when I think I had like 20 of them left. Probably had like 20 and max 30. 30 of them left. I sold the rest while I was Ubering. The point intended is you're going to have to get out here and sell your products. Unless you're going to do it online, cool. I ain't tripping on that. But it's still good to go hand-to-hand combat. Hand-to-hand combat. I was out there every day selling my books. Every day. I was even going to festivals. I went to the jazz festival. Sold my books out there. Like, you can't be afraid to distribute your product. You got to get it out to the masses. Because guess what? You only going to become the best kept secret. You will only become the best kept secret. What you mean by that, Reno? What I'm saying is, what good does your product do if don't nobody know who you are? What good is your product if don't nobody know where it is? So that's why marketing is a great key. But see, you want to make sure that you distribute the product. So number 3 is replenish. Make sure that you replenish, and that's what God said. He says, be fruitful, multiply, replenish. Number 4, y'all. Number 4 is going to be have dominion, right? And subdue it. Have dominion and subdue it. This is what God said. Look in Genesis and y'all look at the first steps of what these are God-made laws that's going to make you a God-made millionaire. Yes, sir. Somebody come in God-made millionaire if you can feel the millions coming in your life. Yes, sir. Somebody come in God-made millionaire if you can feel the success that's coming inside your life. I need you to realize something. You're going to have to accept and bring and receive abundance and wealth into your life because you got to first believe it. You got to first believe it. You are becoming successful. You are becoming a God-made millionaire. But it first starts right here. And so the last step, next to the last step, number 4 is to have dominion and subdue it. So what do you mean by that, Reno? Okay, cool. Let's get directly into it. Whenever you see a football player going into the league, what is he trying to do? That football player is trying to dominate. He's trying to subdue the league. Same thing with basketball. What they're trying to do, dominate, subdue the league. Boxing, dominate, subdue the league. Even if they're not the best one, technically, right? When I say technically, I mean, okay, everybody, especially in music, it's a competitive sport as well as football and basketball. It's competitive, but let's just say that this person say, you know what, I'm the best. Well, over here, he say he the best. Over here, he say he the best. What does that create? That create a bunch of greatness. That creates a bunch of greatness. Why? Because he competing, and they all got the same mindset. The same mindset to have dominion and to subdue it. Everybody trying to be on top. So it got no choice but to bring the top, the best out of him, the best out of her, the best out of him, the best out of her. You understand what I'm saying? And so a lot of people look at it and they say, all right, if I start this, I want to be the best. Or some people, they do the opposite. They started and they're like, well, I don't really want to be the best. No, you want to be the best. You want to be the best because even if you're not the best, you're gonna make an imprint on this world. You're gonna make an imprint on that field, and you're gonna make an imprint in the industry that you implement your business into. So understand, one of the laws is the number 4th law is you got to have dominion. You got to have dominion. Like with me doing YouTube, it's a lot of guys who I looked up to before I even just decided to go on my own journey. Right? I respected them. Like I respected those guys. Right? I respected them. And I still do. But I'll be lying if I didn't sit here and say, I'm trying to have dominion. I'm trying to have dominion. I'm trying to subdue it. Right? Like my boy Kendrick Lamar said. He said, I'm trying to make sure that your core friends never heard of you niggas. He say, I'm trying to murder you niggas. And not literally, but he said, but it's competition. So what I'm saying is that whatever you're doing, you wanna have dominion and subdue it. E.T. Eric Thomas, he number 1. He talk about it all the time. You think he became number one by being friendly? No. He became number one by being aggressive with his craft. He became number one by being aggressive with his craft. So what I'm saying is that it's the same thing with you. I don't care if you baking. I don't care if you cooking. I don't care what you doing. Have dominion and subdue it. Subdue the industry. Subdue it. Become number one. Because even if you're not, you're going to put yourself on the level of greatness. Right? So I hope that resonated with y'all. And the last one, number 5. Now, this right here is inside the scriptures, but it's not connected to Genesis. And the reason why I added this one is because I don't care who you are, what you do, where you go, how good you do it. I don't care. You're going to be doing this. You have no choice. It's a part of being successful, and it's a part of being wealthy. And so the last one is to be a servant. Yes, sir. Listen to what I'm saying. Tune in, tune in. You have to be a servant. And what I mean by that is when you are a servant, you're putting yourself in position to be a wealthy man or a wealthy woman. A wealthy man is a man who serves all. A wealthy woman is a woman who serves all. I'm not saying be a slave. Servant and slave is two different things. Servant is being able to serve someone, right? Or add value to someone. And in exchange of that, they give you value. And most times, that's money or some type of barter. Slave is working for a person for nothing. For little to nothing. That's just slave, right? And I didn't look up no definition. That just came off the top of my head. Just me knowing what a servant is and me knowing what a slave is. Two different meanings. So number 5, y'all be a servant. Whenever y'all go to Chick-fil-A, whenever you go to Chick-fil-A, and I don't care if you see the CEO, I don't care if you see the manager, you're going to always hear them say, hey, welcome to Chick-fil-A. Why? Because they're trying to give you the best service. They're trying to give you the best experience. What they're doing, they're being a servant. This is why you see the line all the way around the building. This is why you see the line all the way around the building. Why? Because people want that service. It's not even just only the food. Like, I can go to a place that got great food. I can go to a place that got great food, but if the service is terrible, I'm trying to go to another. I'm gonna try to go to another place that got the same food, just different workers. They wasn't a good servant. They wasn't a good servant. They're not slaving for me, but they're providing a service that gives me a great experience, and that's what you gotta do with your business. I'll give y'all another example. I was at this tire shop, and it's called Marvis, something like that. But I was at this tire shop, and I like their prices. They actually got great prices. Mavis is actually a good spot, for tires and stuff like that. Little fixes, whatever. But the guy, he had a nasty attitude. I don't know about y'all. I don't like spending my money where people don't accept me or where I feel like it's not accepted or appreciated. I'm sorry. I can be in the drive, they don't care where I am. And they be like, hey, can I take your order? Or they may be like, give me one moment. I'll just drive off. I don't even want to spend my money with you. You're not a good servant. You're not providing an experience. I don't care, right? So I'm at this tire shop, and the guy was just acting very weird. So I said, all right, man, I'm gonna shop around. So I got in the car, and I just drove off. Why? Because I can't stand spending my money with people who don't appreciate me, right? Or don't appreciate my business. I don't care who you are. And so that's the same thing with this. You want to be a great servant. If you want people to keep coming back to you for your business, be a great servant. Give great service. Provide an experience. That's what life is all about, an experience. And I guarantee you will be a God-made millionaire. It may not happen tomorrow. It may not happen next month, but it's going to happen when God wanted it to happen. Right? So if any of these resonated with y'all, you definitely going to become a God-made millionaire. Also, if it resonated, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the video, y'all. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. As I always promise and let y'all know, y'all can definitely check out one of my books, Rich Mentality, Fairly Unequal, Traumatized by Love, or 8 Steps to Self-Publishing, a successful book. You can check the links out in the bio. I have all those provided, as well as joining my Patreon if y'all want more, but not only more, but to get closer in insight, as well as 30% off on all those books that was listed. Look, y'all, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video. Keep a rich mentality. Peace.